governments are putting together, which we don't know about, and they've obviously got their own reasons for their secrets. But if we had any comprehension of how advanced this technology was, then I think people would then begin to realise that even our own people are far more advanced than they would believe. And once they can realise how wrong they were in this direction, then they can start to wonder, well, if we are as advanced as this and we'd no idea of this, is it not feasible that there is something out there which is more advanced than this? And perhaps all the technologies which are being put together at this moment in time are catching up on our alien friends, which I very, very much doubt. But I'm sure that is the reason this technology is being put together. You've got to realise that things are not always as they seem. And once we can get out of this thinking, out of this box we're in, that there is something more than what we are being taught, what we have learnt. There are things outside the scope of this. Then I think you'll begin to see the potential for people from out there visiting us. And not just now, not newly visiting us, but have been visiting us for hundreds of years.
The truth about UFOs may be painful for us to face, and this might provide a continuing rationale for the government to maintain secrecy. But the truth will and must be known eventually. Continuing our denials and fears, in my opinion, are only adding to the problem. We are all in this together. In a time of opening relationships with the Soviet Union, we have the potential for radically demilitarizing our foreign policy, reallocating those resources toward preserving our planet and opening ourselves to the global village. Part of that new reality is embracing the unknown and the possibility that we have visitors beyond the Earth or beyond our dimensions of time and space. We must enter our new openness in peace and without recrimination. Our government of the people, by the people, and for the people needs to be involved in the process, not as a hostile, separate, secret unit. I therefore advocate an orderly, non-vindictive congressional investigation of UFOs and a change in government policy on supporting research in these and other phenomena. The late philosopher Joseph Campbell once said that we are living in a time in which our ignorance and our complacency are coming to an end. It's time we let go of our fears and evolve to a higher awareness of ourselves and our place in the universe.
Maybe the cover-up was in our best interest, maybe not. Maybe the government underestimated the intelligence of the American people and decided we just couldn't handle it. But let me tell you this, the truth is still the truth, and nothing can change that. Not the military, not the government, and not me.
Although mankind has been faced with many crises throughout history, he has always been able to overcome them. Today, the vast power and unlimited potential of man's mind is understood. In fact, he's created computers that can pick up and even reflect his own thoughts. Man is a complex whole, possessing the capability to make matter visibly change. With the power of his mind, he can tap the energy source of the cosmos to manifest all possible necessities of life for himself. Thoughts are energy. Energy influences matter. The technology involved is one of peace as it eliminates war. And it's only a matter of time before everyone discovers this ability.
If we can create in the laboratory, without any doubt, a mind-over-matter interaction that's a few parts in 10,000, certainly all you have to do is extrapolate that a little bit to come up with a mind-over-matter mastery that could happen later in our own development, and certainly what seems to be true in some of the UFO visitations. And of course also we have various case studies like Sai Baba being able to materialize and dematerialize things in his hand, or various forms of levitation. These are all things that are very real. They're not, drummed up by people. It's just that our ability to face that reality has been quite compromised. I should have known all along that the so-called new physics, in a way, actually makes all of this possible. That in a way, we physicists have kind of forgotten what we're all about. Einstein one time said that the whole purpose of science is to awaken the cosmic spiritual feeling. And we scientists are among the last to embrace that.
The cosmos is the energy and lifeblood of all things. Man is part of this energy and therefore holds the potential to achieve literally anything. Science is in the early stages of attuning to this enormous reservoir of knowledge where anything is possible. Our comprehension of such things is limited only by the painful realization of change. The idea of a living cosmos is such a new concept that we have not accorded it its rightful place.
Contrary to the popular view, it can be shown and conclusively proved that that has an internal structure of incredible order and beautiful order. It's filled with electromagnetic waves going in bidirections. Pick a frequency, there's a wave going in one direction and a wave in the other direction. The wave that's going backwards is an anti-wave. It's a time-reversed wave. And the vacuum is structured, this potential, a vacuum is just potential is all it is. This potential is filled with a harmonic series of these waves. And so it structures spatially by bidirectional wave sets, and it structures vertically in terms of harmonics. Now, if you then invoke this structure, and you do that with a nonlinear material, and you put in one wave in the nonlinear material, that material will take from the vacuum that excess structure because it turns everything into a potential, and it will put out multiple frequencies and harmonics. That's what nonlinear materials do. Interestingly enough, if you take time-reversed waves and put in those harmonics, when they back up through, they will restore one wave. You can gather the energy and collect it and integrate it together and produce a single thing of much greater energy and lower frequency. And so what you have is the vacuum structures in frequency and spatially, and the connection are waves. And by the way, these waves do not have to move at the speed of light. They can have much greater velocity.
Yes, our knowledge grows rapidly in almost every discipline. Conservative scientists in the past, or if you like, futurologists, have always been too cautious, too conservative in their estimates. We know that there's a turnover every 5 years of doubling our knowledge, with the consequence that we have a completely different view on the world. Most people can't even keep up anymore with the advance in science. They have problems understanding modern computer science, cybernetics, biogenetic engineering, or nuclear physics. We talked today about great unified models of the natural forces. The man on the street can't keep up, and he is only superficially informed about new aspects. We don't know what will happen in 20, 50, 100, or 1,000 years. However, there's one thing we do know, that whatever happens in the future, science will have advanced far more than we can possibly think of today. And no imagination, no fantastic model that we may produce today will justifiably come close to the actual advance in 1,000 years.
We really do have, right now, available to be born a completely new and drastically extended and drastically more capable physics, which unfortunately 4 nations of the world have weaponized but kept secret from their citizens and from the rest of the world. And what I am saying is that it's high time that instead of just using this in secret to build more weapons to kill more people and hurt more people or control more people, What we need to do is bring this out in the open, and let's use it for the positive benefits, to heal people, to give them cheap energy and clean energy, to clean up the biosphere, to clean up our whole act, to be able to heal all these diseases and this kind of thing. That's what I'm saying we've got to get on with the job.
Life on your Earth is dependent on new sciences and technology to achieve advancement. When your governments were first introduced to our advanced technology, their reactions were horrendous. Because the motive to gain power and control people was foremost in their mind, the technology was suppressed from the world. Technology should be made to work for the good of all, and placed in the hands of people of understanding who care and can control it towards a free world.
I think the first point in overcoming any difficulty or any problem or any crisis is to have the faith that something better is possible. Without faith, without trust that it can work out better, without the vision of something greater, it won't happen. So I think we have to have some kind of vision, some kind of faith. In traditional Christian terms, this is the idea of the kingdom of heaven. And most visionary schemes in the West are under the influence of this Judeo-Christian model, that at the end of history there'll be a new era, a new dawn, a new age, the kingdom of heaven. A utopia. Well, I mean, there are many different ways of formulating this. We have to think this. I think it's built into our whole civilization. It's very difficult for us not to think this, or at least if we don't think it, we despair.